Hello friends, recently I have posted a video on medical effects of stress, means how stress affects your health. Now this video is a notch above because I am posting how stress affects you dangerously, means dangerous health issues related with stress. So watch this video till end because I am going to give you some very practical knowledge about how stress is affecting you and how stress may be destroying your life internally. Now, I am having 25 years of experience of medical practice. I have seen practically almost every case, almost every kind of a case. And experts now agree that most of the diseases are of a psychosomatic origin. Now, I don't want to talk about psychosomatic diseases because I know that you know about it. And I have posted about psychosomatic diseases earlier as well. Let me come directly to the point. The dangerous effects of stress or the dangerous diseases caused by stress. And the first and the foremost which comes here is cancer. Yes, my dear friends, you heard it right. The dangerous disease, the cancer, which is life-threatening, which everybody fears to have, 50% of the population will have fear about cancer. I shouldn't get cancer. Is it not cancer? Will it be cancer? Can it be cancer? Something like that. And once the cancer happens, it is gone. Because the fear of cancer is so strong that it grips that person and then it is difficult for a person to come out. But what about the origin of cancer? How did cancer originate? Is there anything related to stress? Yes. The relation between stress and cancer is very definite relation. It has improved by psycho-oncology and so many scientists, so many doctors that it is now beyond doubt that a stress or differently mind is behind the causation of cancer. Dr. Deepak Chopra once did a very beautiful experiment. He tried to prove that how having thought about cancer or being stressed up about cancer, can it increase the chances of cancer? And the result was yes. Mind and anxiety about cancer can increase the chances of having cancer by many folds. Now, is it just anxiety or some different kind of stress? So it has been proved that any kind of mental shock, sudden grief, a strong hurt, a separation, it can be brutal separation, let somebody dying, can trigger off your genes and result in cancer. Maybe this is the reason why cancer is found to be more common in those who have disturbed family or a disturbed mental state. They have more chances of having cancer. These all have been proven beyond doubt. So guys, focus. If you have cancer or if somebody is having cancer near you, see that he will usually be a disturbed person in his real life, emotional life or an office life. But there has to be some disturbances. A perfectly normal being, which unfortunately doesn't exist nowadays. But for cancer to happen, mild stress will not do. It should be a strong stress, a powerful stress, a stress which can shake off his genes and put the genes into the mutational state that can lead to cancer. Just don't think, oh, I was having exams, so I was not prepared well and therefore I got cancer. No. It has to be some strong emotion, a sudden emotion, a strong, overwhelming emotional response from the body can put your genes into a cancerous genetic mutation state. So now this was about cancer. Second disease which I will talk about is ankylosing spondylitis. Yes, my dear friends, ankylosing spondylitis is a disease which I am now seeing nowadays, very commonly seeing patients, and I was not very confident about ankylosing spondylitis because I had just seen initially one case where I failed. Let me be absolutely open with accepting it. So when I saw that patient, he was in a very dire state. It was almost complete, 90% of body was stiff, 90 or even more percent of the body was stiff, and therefore I was not able to do anything for him. Now when I was not able to do anything for him, that was something which triggered my interest in ankylosing spondylitis. I was already treating cancers, but ankylosing spondylitis patients somehow believe that there is no cure, no relief, no result, and then they go for painkillers and steroids and biologics and all the kind of medicine they are taking. Unfortunately, almost maximum of them do not find any result in long term. Then they become sad and they are depressed and they lose hope of life. And then there are Facebook groups, they support each other very well. One thing I have seen about ankylosing spondylitis patients is that they are very supportive to their groups. They are really very supportive. I am attached to some groups and I have seen this very frequently. They are very supportive. But one interesting observation which I saw recently is that whenever there is a patient of ankylosing spondylitis, and if I can work at the mind level along with the giving medicine, genetic based medicine, the results are far superior. I have posted one video yesterday where I could get a result in ankylosing spondylitis in just 1 hour without giving any painkiller. Patient was having 20 to 30% better relief of pain, and the stiffness was also 5 to 10% less within just 1 hour. But this is something amazing. This is something amazing about an incurable disease. But the point here is not of talking about the result and cure. Point here is this proves that ankylosing spondylitis, the troublesome disease which fuse all your joints, which make you a log and a rock, has a psychological basis behind it. Yes, ankylosing spondylitis can be the result of, definitely be a result of mind issues or a stress. Now, third disease which I would like to talk about is another big disease, motor neuron disease. Now, motor neuron disease is usually a genetic or an autoimmune disease where the neurons are getting destroyed or degenerated. Now, this degenerative neuron disease, motor neuron disease, can it originate from mind? Can it originate from stress? Yes, my dear friends. It has been consistently observed that all the autoimmune diseases, I will come to autoimmune diseases, but all the autoimmune diseases have their origin from mind and stress. Some kind of stress can be the very, very important reason to trigger the autoimmunity. One more disease I would like to point here is SLE. SLE is systemic lupus erythematosus. I have seen some cases of SLE where I worked in tandem with medicines and mind both, and I have got results. Now, what kind of results? SLE takes a long time. Usually, patients do not have that much of patience because he is troubled so much. So, I can't give you a very long-term follow-up. But yes, the stress element, the mind element plays a very, very important role in almost all the autoimmune diseases. Especially it has been found that autoimmune diseases and cancer happen to those people who are in the habit of blaming themselves. Now, how blaming themselves? Oh, I am the wrong person to do this, and I always do wrong. Then nothing good can be done by me. I am worthless. I am useless. These kind of feeling, or something like there is no point in living more. I want to commit suicide. I want to die. Come on, guys! If you want to die, your mind is just very, very, very obedient follower. He will do arrangements for you to die. Yes. If you want to live, he will make arrangements for you to live. If you want to succeed, it will make arrangement for you to succeed. And if you harbor constant thoughts of failure, it will arrange your mind and body and neurology for failure. So mind is a very powerful state. Powerful organ. Don't give wrong instructions to mind. Another thing which I want to point out towards psychiatric illness is schizophrenia. I hope everybody knows about schizophrenia and schizophrenia or schizophrenia. However you want to spell it, it's just between American and English, routine English. So if you talk about schizophrenia and see about the predisposing factors, it is a stressful family, stressful atmosphere. Yes, my dear friends, a stress can trigger of a dangerous disease like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, and also the personality disorder, the split personality disorder. All happens when your mind, when your psychology is put into lots of pressure from the circumstances and situation. So stress at a huge amount can cause almost all kinds of deadliest and dangerous diseases of this new era. One more thing I would like to point out, where I would like to end where I started. I would like to point out cancer. It had been seen that cancer progresses, many of the time cancer recurs and progresses to lungs and bones. Now you may say that yes sir, it is a metastasis and it will happen to the nearby organ. But it rarely happens to the nearby organ. What has been seen is that metastasis can be to nearby organs or metastasis can be to distant organs. Now what decides? Now I know the point I am going to talk is going to be a bit controversial, but please, if you play attention, I am going to make another video on it, but if you play attention, you will understand that there is some scientific logic to it. So metastasis usually happen to the nearby organ, or it can even happen to a distant organ where there is absolutely no relation. People have tried to explain this by the hematological transmission, that it can transmit by blood, okay. Then someone tried to explain it by lymphatic transmission, that lymphatics carry the cancer cells to that part. But my dear friends, when that cancer cell is going to a distant part, there are many parts in between, right? Suppose there are 1000 cancer cells traveling in the blood. Usually there are more. There are never 1000, they are in lakhs. So if lakhs of cancer cells are traveling in the blood, why only that one organ is affected? At times patient gets metastasis only in lungs, at times only in bones, at times in brain. Why? What prompts settling of these cancer cells into that particular organ? Now this is most important to study. I will be posting another video on this, but for now, let me tell you, it is the mind which decides which part is going to get metastasis, right? So pay attention to your mind and especially take care of your stress. Take care means don't care so that it stays with you. Don't care like this. I want you to get rid of it. I want you to finish it off so that if stress doesn't remain with you, if a distress doesn't remain with you, you will be more healthy and free of diseases. So thank you guys. This was dangerous effects of stress. I will be posting another video on non-medical effects of stress. Keep watching. Thank you.